The internment camp in Vichy, France, where foreign-born Jews, the undesirables, like my German mother and 3-year-old me, are prisoners, is the size of 2 football fields. The children's barracks is hot and dirty and dark. We sleep on lice-filled straw that smells of urine. It's a long walk alone in the dark to the latrine outside, just a long wooden block with holes to squat over. Once a day, we are handed a rotten bowl of tomato soup with hard brown bread. It's morning roll call in the camp. Separated from Mama, I am told to stand on the children's line. A Vichy guard is shouting through his megaphone instructions. When your name is called, step from the line, walk to the end of the square where the train is waiting to take you to the work camp in the east. I run from the line. Mama, Mama, take me with you. Take me with you. But the guards are shoving Mama onto the train, and 4 days later, my beautiful young mother, red-haired, green-eyed, is gassed in Auschwitz, the death camp. Papa will follow 6 months later. Deeply traumatized and draped in loss, I came to America with my 2 older sisters in 1946, a 7-year-old orphaned refugee with no memory of the past. For more than 5 decades, I lived life shut down and small, forever looking for home, never feeling like I belonged, unable to love or trust, consumed with self-hate and shame, and addicted to dysfunctional and destructive relationships with men who always mirrored how worthless and undeserving of respect I knew I was. It's 1993. And my beloved sister Rita, my surrogate mom, the storyteller of my early forgotten life, has died. 1 month after her death, I come back home to New York, and as I exit the subway station for a job interview that I desperately need, I suddenly feel the full weight of my grief. Life has become too hard. I am tired of fighting to live. So I step off the curb, hoping that the oncoming truck will run over me. The psychotherapist whom the United Jewish Federation referred me to, for $5 a session, 4 times a week, diagnoses me as having had a post-traumatic stress disorder breakdown. He tells me I am a hidden child. I am 54. Your sister's death has triggered how powerless and terrorized you felt when your mother was taken away. You were just a child. You did not know what was happening. My mother's brutal and swift departure had left me numb and unanchored and irreparably damaged by the incomprehensible rupture I suffered when she was torn away from me. But with the help of my kind therapist, that raw, deep, oozing wound is now a scar. I am 62 when I fly to Germany, the country I dreaded, home to the people I fear. I nervously share my story with hundreds of young students. I do not hide my pain or my anger when I tell them how enthusiastic the German people had been about Hitler. Get rid of those parasites and those leeches, their ancestors had shouted. They are not pure Germans like us. The room has become too quiet, and I am afraid that they are angry with me. But then I hear 100 chairs sliding back, bodies rising, standing. They give me 5 minutes of nonstop, thunderous applause. We love you, they chant. We will make a difference. We will remember your family. We will put more love in the world. The start of Hitler's campaign in the 1920s was insidiously quiet and subtle. By 1933, Jews were banned from restaurants, public parks, and public transportation. Then came the 1935 Nuremberg Laws. Jews were forbidden to own a radio, a phonograph, or pets, or forbidden to ride public transportation or own a public telephone. And they were only allowed to food shop from the hours of 4 to 5 when the shelves were already empty. Every new law saw their basic human rights slowly slipping away. How ironic that my gentle, opera-loving father kept saying, "This Hitler is a joke. His rhetoric will never get anywhere. We are a civilized and cultured people. We are safe. We have nothing to fear." This is personal for me. What is happening at the border today is shocking and eerily similar to what happened in Nazi Germany more than 70 years ago. It is why I published my memoir, A Life Rebuilt, last year. I am every immigrant child. I am Daniela Sanchez, the 2-year-old sobbing girl who stands at the border with her mother while her mother is being patted down by a Border Patrol agent. I am the 3-year-old Syrian boy, Elan Kurdi, lying face down and dead on a Turkish beach. I am Valeria Ramirez, the 2-year-old girl tucked into her father's arm as their bodies come floating by on the banks of the Rio Grande. Do we really need a study to prove to us how traumatized these migrant children are? Who will help them heal from the deep wounds that they have suffered? If we do not provide mental health care now and as they get older, they might also step into the street, or they will end up in our jails, or they might end up on our welfare rolls. And the public will only think of them as just another statistic, if they even think of them at all. We cannot become so distracted by the latest news headline story that we just casually scroll past this ongoing atrocity in our news feeds. We cannot be indifferent. We cannot look away. We must stop this horror. We must march together in protest and have those damn camps shut down. We must band together and demand that children never be separated from loved ones, not for one more day. But I can't do this alone. I am pleading for you to help. I am giving you my hands and my heart so that we can all do this together. Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Memorial Museum in Israel. When you walk through the museum, you will see exhibits that clearly show you man's inhumanity to man. And when you depart, you enter a beautiful, landscaped, serene garden. And as you walk through the path of the righteous, you will see huge tablets with names. The non-Jewish people who saved a Jew and risked their life because what was happening was wrong. And as you leave the righteous garden, you see a huge ark. And on the ark is written the following words: "To save a life, you save the world entire." Let's be warriors. Let's declare war on children being separated from loved ones. Let's do this. Help me. Spread the word. We can do so much together. I asked one of my rescuers that I was fortunate enough to meet, "Why did you do this? Why did you risk your life?" She was only 18 years old. And she looked at me and she said, "How could I not? Well, it was wrong. I was only doing what I felt was my duty." So I'm begging you, make this your duty. I am their voice. We must be that voice. They're counting on you. They're counting on us. Thank you. And there is not a day that goes by that I don't miss my mama and my papa. And these children will also suffer with that lifetime of longing. We can't let this go on. I beg you, provide some affordable mental health care. Tell them they're not invisible. They're not worthless. They haven't been abandoned. Please don't abandon them. Please.